Just for the fun of it, the look of it, just for the splash of it, Diet Coca-Cola, just for the one of it, ooh, one calorie, the feeling I get from it, Diet Coca-Cola, just for the shake of it, sugar-free, just for the feel, just for the ooh, yeah, Diet Coca-Cola, just for the thrill of it, from Coca-Cola, just for the taste of it, Diet Coca-Cola.
The McDonald's quarter pounder is so beefy, with so many trimmings, we thought you might like some extra fries to go with it. So order a quarter pounder and large fries, and we'll give you 25% more fries free. McDonald's quarter pounder, the beefed up hamburger with beefed up fries.
Sliced what?
Loaf. Brown, Dad, or Mum will not be happy.
Right. Now what's floor?
Flora. Margarine.
Well, why didn't you just put margarine?
Something to do with Polly What's-Her-Names.
Oh, I see. Because Polly What's-Her-Name's got it. We have to have it.
You don't get thanks for all the decisions you make for your family.
Yogurt.
But you know why you buy Flora Margarine.
Yogurt.
Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet, the mild cigar.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
I've come to clean up this kitchen. This kitchen ain't big enough for the both of us.
No rinse, Jif spray and foam. It's the fastest way to clean up in town.
Use ordinary SP batteries for an hour each day, and after only about 10 days inside, they're out. Duracell batteries, however, will serve the full term over 30 days hard labor. Duracell, no ordinary battery looks like it or lasts like it.
Look in brings you the stars. Star portraits, star profiles, your favorite stars of TV and sport. Be starstruck with this week's Look In.
It's me.
Oh, have you got it?
Certainly have.
Well, what's it like?
Terrific. It's got everything. Alloy wheels, sunroof, sports seats.
All right, but when will you be home?
That's why I'm calling. I'm stuck in the most horrendous traffic jam you could ever imagine.
Really? Well, I'll expect you when I see you then.
Could be hours.
Okay. Bye.
New Cavalier LX from Vauxhall, around 8,750 pounds. Once driven, forever smitten.
continental holidays can really begin in style with P&O European Ferries. Why sail across the channel when you can cruise across?
This man made a lot of money. He traveled the world and became a huge success in a cutthroat business by persuading complete strangers to give him their valuables. Unfortunately for Captain Kidd, Eagle Star weren't around at the time, so he put his money into an obscure offshore tax haven. And when he came back, he found he'd lost the lot. Take care of your treasure. Ask your financial advisor about Eagle Star's investment plans. Because with Eagle Star, you can face the future with confidence.
Penguin, to the penguin. Man can't do it, just can't do it. Penguin, to the penguin. Penguin, to the penguin. The man can't do it, just can't do it. Go for the chocolate. Live for the biscuit. Penguin, penguin. The dog can't do it.
No way can you do it.
To the penguin, to the penguin, to the penguin. Penguin.
So, 2 years in New York, and he thinks he can tell us how to run things. Well, we won't have it.
It's all right. I fix things. He's traveling overnight on the red-eye.
Not first class.
Of course not. Company policy.
By the time he gets in, he'll be exhausted.
And he won't have had time to incorporate those new figures I sent him in his report.
He'll be hungry and tired.
I've arranged for the chauffeur to bring him straight here, not to the hotel.
Like a lamb to the slaughter, gentlemen.
Morning. New Club World delivers the businessman ready to do business.
Pleasant trip.
Yes, thank you. New Club World from the world's favorite airline.
Start playing £100,000 winning lines. Meet the stars of Singles, a brand new comedy series. Get ready for the Super Bowl in this week's TV Times.
Mexico Sierra. They said the car would break. It hasn't done that. They've broken the spirit of the opposition. Meantime, the race leader. We are the champions. We are the champions. And everything has run so superbly today for the Rudy Eggenberger Ford Texaco. We are the champions of the world.
Harp to Sharp. Mate to... Mate? I thought you had to wear a tie to get in here. Head to head. Could I have another one, please? Date? To date. Bet that had you worried. Sharp to Harp. Get sharp to Harp.
Wisk Automatic. A thick, concentrated liquid detergent which goes deep into your wash with the deep, penetrating power to work through and through the fibers, getting your clothes really clean, returning them all to you, cleaner and brighter. Wisk Automatic. Deep cleaning power for all your wash.
And make way, make way, make way.
Okay, cut it.
Hello there. It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What's the film?
A commercial for a bank.
A bank, thank you. How interesting. What exactly are you advertising?
A unit trust savings scheme.
You save regularly and they spread the investment for you.
Unit trust saving. How very modern.
Yes, they have a mortgage that's linked to investments too. It's all done through their own life assurance company.
Mortgages paid through investments. Good grief! My bank would never entertain such avant-garde ideas.
What bank's that then?
A bank, dear boy, that has always stood for service and tradition. Loyds Bank, of course.
Really? But this is for Loyds Bank.
What do you... I beg your pardon?
Well, they're dropping the old image and going for a more modern, youthful approach.
Modern? Youthful? I suppose they'll be pensioning off the Black Horse as well.
No.
Oh, good.
Just the old image.
Loyds Bank, a thoroughbred amongst banks.
Live in peace with your pipe. With Mellow, Virginia.
Don't just sit there. Ski resorts, snow reports, and the latest holidays are on your screen. Page your Oracle for the fastest information on the slopes.
This week, the Mail on Sunday and America's foremost sports magazine take a close, well, not too close, look at what makes Superbowl America's greatest sporting event. The Sports Illustrated Guide to Superbowl. Free with the Mail on Sunday. A newspaper, not a snoozepaper.
Lucky man. You've got the North. There's a lot of it. How are you doing with that data?
Don't worry. I'm on top of it.
There's more to life with Renault.
Hello? No, this is 4724. That's quite all right.
Don't let a stinking cold get you down. Contac 400 gives relief for up to 12 hours.
Gillette Contour Plus with Lubristrip. Contour Plus glides the razor so it feels smoother while you shave and smoother after. The Gillette Contour Plus system. First we made it closer, now we've made it smoother.
It's done. Hurry.
It should only be a couple of days.
Take care. Ciao.
When you put Esso, petrol or diesel in your tank, you're not only getting quality you can count on, you're getting an Esso Tiger token for every £6 worth of fuel you buy. And whether you're a high or low mileage driver, you have a variety of quality gifts to choose from. So collect your Tiger tokens and put a Tiger in your tank, where you see the Esso collection sign.
For more about the award-winning programs on Central, make sure you get a winning combination. Get the TV Times for the award winners.
For Sunday soccer action on Central, don't miss the Big Match Live at 2:30. There's a great game in store for you from the 4th round of the FA Cup. The Big Match Live, Sunday soccer action at 2:30 on Central.
If you spend all the rest of the week dreaming of your perfect Sunday, walkies, a pint or two, followed by 40 winks and your favourite quiz show, then wake up to the good news. Bullseyes on Thursday nights too. Sundays at 6 and Thursdays around midnight.
The law comes in for the melon griff treatment in the world according to Smith & Jones. That's in just over an hour. Before that, we have news and, of course, Aspel.
Every year, some people have their gas supply cut off because they don't contact British Gas or answer our letters when they realise they can't pay their gas bill. The pity is that in many cases we could have helped. As soon as you realise you're going to have trouble paying, go to your gas showroom or phone the number on the front of your gas bill. We'll do our level best to come to an arrangement that lets you pay it off at a rate you can afford. So if you can't pay your gas bill, get in touch with British Gas as soon as possible. We want to help, and we often can.
I can't stop writing.
Look at Shakespeare. 39 plays, 154 sonnets. What a scribbler.
I spend hours writing checks. I can't stop.
Would it help if I presented my bill now?
I can't resist all those spaces to fill in. The amount in figures, the amount in words, the date.
Have you never heard of Barclays Bank?
I'm not daft.
I'll be the judge of that. Look at this.
A credit card?
It's a Barclays Connect card. Thousands of Barclays customers have one. It's exactly the same as paying by check at Visa outlets. All you have to do is to sign your name. Debits your current account direct.
A Barclays Connect card. I'm cured.
What name shall I put on the bill?
Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Ha! Good news here for ex-millionaires and the rest of us who've been flattened by the stock market. The Times portfolio game pays out £4,000 a day, beer money, and £8,000 on Saturdays. But now you also automatically qualify for the Times Portfolio Accumulator, which could win you $20,000 this week. And if it rolls up, you could accumulate 100K or more.
Your personal portfolio card is in tomorrow's Sunday Times magazine.
Now, that's what I call champagne money.
I could do without Monday morning, getting out of bed and yawning. I could do with a day. I could do without the 9 to 5. Got to work hard to survive. I could do with a day. I could do without the British weather, and both of my feet are killing me. I could do with a day. I could do with a day. I could do with a day.
You'd expect to find plenty of British steel in Britain, in all shapes and sizes. But British steel's going much further than that. We're selling it in Canada, in India, the USA, in Egypt, and in Sweden. Indeed, there aren't many countries that don't buy British steel. Since last year, our exports are up by over 40%. British steel, in shape for things to come.
You could get cheaper motor insurance by dealing direct with the insurance service. If it comes to the crunch, you'll be glad you did. The insurance service, 0272 232 232.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, and how often. Small World, Sundays at 9:30 on Central.
For a rather unusual Aspel Co, we have today's news and sports from the team at ITM.
The news from ITM.
Owen warns we're ready to fight the alliance for every seat. 2 young brothers murdered, a man is held. The cup tie chaos caused by fake tickets. And Broad's £500 tantrum down under. Good evening. Dr. David Owen has said he's prepared to fight any merged party for every parliamentary seat at the next election. Dr. Owen told a rival rally at the SDP's merger conference in Sheffield, "Let no one doubt our resolve or our commitment." And he rallied his supporters against the merger with the taunt, "Let the faint hearts leave while the strong hearts stay." The party votes on the merger tomorrow.
This was the SDP breaking up in sadness and bitterness. One speaker even getting a slow hand clap. Shirley Williams saying merger was right because it was the majority view. She understood the anti-mergerites leaving.
And in turn, they, I hope, will accept the determination of those of us who speak here for the majority of the members of the Social Democratic Party, that we stand firm on the bedrock on which our party was created. One member, one vote, democracy.
They rehearsed the arguments for and against merger one last time.
I am not leaving any party. I'm taking social democracy with me into the new party, just as the Liberals are taking liberalism.
One anti-merger speaker resented Shirley Williams' enthusiasm for the new party.
Well, I have something to say to you, Madam President. I won't join you, and you won't run me out.
Following last night's row, the anti-merger side laid claim to the hall tonight. David Owen made as grand, as determined an entrance as any politician, and gave us tougher warning too to the planned new party. Don't expect any deals from us, he said, the continuing SDP.
Well, let it be clear. The SDP will neither provoke nor shirk a fight. If need be, we are ready to fight every seat at the next election. No one should doubt our resolve or our commitment. But I predict the day will come when the SDP is seen to be closer to the heartbeat of this nation than any other political party.
Before the meeting began, Dr. Owen's people were calling it just a business meeting, and it was very obvious that here tonight was the relaunching of Dr. Owen's SDP. Michael Brunson, ITN, Sheffield.
A new poll tonight shows Mr. Steele's standing as Liberal leader has dropped sharply over the past month. The Murray poll in tomorrow's Sunday Times shows 46% satisfied with Mrs. Thatcher, 33% with Mr. Kinnock, and 23% with Mr. Steele. Compared with last month, Mrs. Thatcher and Mr. Kinnock are each down by 2%, but Mr. Steele by 7%. Concern about unemployment and education have both gone down in the past month, while worries about the health service are up by 12%. It's now the issue of greatest concern. Police are questioning a man tonight about the killing of 2 young brothers at their Luton home. 27-year-old Colin Munn gave himself up in Oxfordshire this evening. He's been taken back to Luton, where he lived with the boys and their mother.
The bodies of the 2 brothers were found together in a bedroom of the family's terraced home in Luton. Their mother, 29-year-old Jennifer Knight, found them when she returned home early this morning after a night out with 2 girlfriends. Mrs. Knight was herself attacked and was taken to hospital with serious head injuries. Police said she'd been repeatedly beaten with a blunt instrument. After the discovery of the bodies of 6-year-old Matthew Knight and his 4-year-old brother Ryan, police began a nationwide search for 27-year-old Colin Munn, who's lived with Mrs. Knight for the past 3 years. He'd been left to look after the 2 boys yesterday evening. Earlier this evening, he gave himself up to police in Oxfordshire, and he's now back in Luton talking to local detectives. Mrs. Knight is now said to be out of danger, but still in intensive care. Detectives say it'll be tomorrow before she's well enough to be questioned about what they describe as a brutal and sickening double murder. Alan Cuthbertson, ITN, Luton.
The Seamen's Union has called an indefinite national ferry strike starting on Tuesday. It's in support of strikers who've been sacked by the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company. Sealink and European Ferries said the action could put jobs at risk, and tonight called on their men to continue working normally.
In the Isle of Man dispute, the ferry companies sacked 161 seamen after they went on strike in protest at plans to cut jobs, holidays and pay. The company says it will recruit new workers. The Seamen's Union see this as part of a wider plot against them.
We believe that the ferry operators are combining against the National Union of Seamen. In particular, local agreements are coming under attack. Agreements that have been negotiated freely and entered into from the last 8 years and even longer than that are being torn up. Companies are just stating to people exactly what they will do in the future. Negotiation really is a dirty word. There's no negotiations going on. It's just threat. And our people basically are saying they've had enough.
So 5,000 seamen at 12 British ports have been asked to strike indefinitely from Tuesday. The union spokesman said members at each port could decide whether to hold a ballot or not.
Israeli troops have shot and wounded at least 8 Palestinian protesters in the occupied West Bank and Gaza Strip. Doctors at one hospital in Nablus said 15 Palestinians were treated for gunshot wounds. The casualties included an 11-year-old boy who'd been shot through the neck.
Orders to use gunfire in the West Bank town of Nablus came after protests in support of the PLO swept through the community. Army units came under repeated attack from groups of stone throwers. They first tried to break them up with an aerial assault, this helicopter dropping tear gas. When they didn't succeed, a water cannon went in, but that failed to douse the resistance also. The army finally resorting to live ammunition. Shots fired down alleyways. The ultimate deterrent, which the army says should only be used when soldiers' lives are endangered. The gunfire set off panic. But not all screaming in fear.
You are not afraid from the army?
The return of rifle fire and more casualties shattered the army's orders to use beatings and not bullets against protesters. In Gaza, though, it was different. Golani Brigade soldiers crushing dissent. It was nothing more than one arrest, soldiers supposedly doing their duty. Soldiers Israel is relying on to maintain control. Brent Sadler, ITN, in Israel's occupied territories.
South African police are denying allegations that they failed to prevent clashes between rival black factions in which 5 people were reported killed. The trouble at the KTC squatter camp near Cape Town revived memories of similar violence in 1986. This report has been compiled under South African government restrictions.
After a 2-year lull, palls of smoke once again hang over the KTC squatter camp. In the streets, residents scramble to salvage some of their possessions from burning shacks, and scores of homeless people are seeking refuge in neighboring townships. The residents say the fighting erupted after a squatter leader was murdered, his followers seeking to exact revenge on what they call the young radicals, allegedly responsible for the killing. Police deny the violence has a political motive, describing it as a clash between rival black gangs. Observers feared the fighting could escalate as it did in 1986, when more than 50 people were killed and thousands of shacks razed in conflict between conservative blacks and the more radical so-called comrades. Squatters have alleged in court that on that occasion, police aided the conservative faction. But today, apart from a few shacks still burning, calm appears to have returned to the area, and the authorities have confirmed that order has been restored. Mike Hanna, ITN, South Africa.
And now, on a day of upsets in the FA Cup and bad temper on England's cricket tour, here's Giles Smith.
The big shock of the FA Cup came from 3rd Division Port Vale, who beat last year's finalist Tottenham 2-1. Ray Walker got the first in a well-earned victory that ends manager Terry Venables' hopes of bringing success to Spurs in his first season back in English soccer. 2nd Division Bradford beat 1st Division Oxford 4-2, and Orient of the 4th gave Nottingham Forest a fright before Calvin Plummer's goal saw Forest home 2-1. There were victories for Arsenal over Brighton and Manchester United over Chelsea, but Coventry, the FA Cup holders, are out, beaten 1-0 by Watford. The only goal came from a speculative free kick, which the Coventry defence failed to clear. A Malcolm Allen shot somehow found the head of Trevor Senior for a goal that even the Watford manager admitted had a bit of luck. It was also Cup Day in Scotland, and the holders there, St Mirren, went out too, beaten 3-0 at home by Clydebank. Frank McAvenny scored as Celtic scraped home 1-0 against second division Stranraer. But probably the most dramatic events of the day were at Loftus Road, where QPR beat West Ham 3-1. The match was held up for an hour after fans spilled onto the pitch. Watching was a group of police from the German cities where England play this summer. They'd come to check up on crowd control.
The West German police had chosen their match carefully. A big operation was already underway by the time they arrived. The West London police, though, were determined to keep the peace, despite the reputation of a small section of West Ham supporters. For a while, everything went according to plan. The police video, one of their main weapons in winning the fight against violence, was inevitably the centre of attention. But as everyone settled down to watch the match, something happened which even the police couldn't have predicted. The holders of around 2,000 forged tickets had joined a section of West Ham supporters already closely packed together. The only escape was onto the pitch. The only answer was to take off the players and find a new home for the evicted fans. But in Rangers' tight stadium, that wasn't easy. An amiable sort of chaos reigned for just over an hour before order was finally restored. The horses were marched off and the teams trooped back on. There was another short delay while the carpet was cleaned, but the whole affair had been remarkably good-humoured. The Germans didn't quite understand the joke, but they were obviously impressed, if only by the fans' patience. And that was rewarded by a second half the opposite of the shambles which had gone before. First, David Pisani giving Rangers the lead. 3 minutes later, and West Ham tore back in to equalise. Tony Cottee finishing it. But Rangers had always looked the more organised of the two sides. It wasn't long before they took the lead again, Gary Bannister curling one around the keeper. And just to rub in the West Enders' superiority, another great solo effort sealed it, this one from Martin Allen. A potentially explosive London derby had ended happily. The German police must have been the most relieved. Peter Staunton, ITN Sport, Loftus Road.
There was drama too in cricket, where Chris Broad was fined £500 for smashing a stump after getting out in the bicentenary test. The scores at the end of the second day: Australia 14 for no wicket in reply to England's 425.
107 minutes.
The day began badly for England. Mike Gatting went for just 13. And then came the moment of madness from Broad. On 139, he misjudged a ball from Waugh, and the petulant swipe ruined a fine innings. Broad was reprimanded for refusing to walk in Pakistan. After all that happened there and the warnings that followed, this display of temper was bound to land him in trouble.
There's absolutely no possible excuse for knocking your stumps over when you're dismissed. However disappointed you are. And no alternative. They all knew the form before the match started, what the position would be, and I fined him £500. He knows he was wrong, and that's it.
Further indiscipline could lead to players involved being sent home. A reflective Broad then sat and watched as Bill Affy built on England's solid foundation.
Good shot.
Spinner Peter Taylor applied the brake. He picked up Affy for 37.
Got him, he's got
Bruce French lifted the total past 400, and as England got a whiff of victory, wicketkeeper Dyer got the strong smell of leather. A nasty blow on the nose, but nothing was broken. Marsh and David Boone survived 40 minutes at the end. They'll have to bat a long time tomorrow to start enjoying this bicentenary party. Mark Austin, ITN Sport, Sydney.
Athletics and Zola Budd's return to British competition. The cross-country trial at Gateshead brought controversy when anti-apartheid protesters tried to stop the race with Budd in 4th place. They were quickly hustled away, but it was an unhappy afternoon for Zola, who could only manage 4th place, 36 seconds behind the winner, Angela Tooby. No problems for the world's fastest man, Ben Johnson, setting another world record in Toronto, 5.15 seconds for the 50 yards, and already looking in fine form for the Olympics.
Finally, back down under, the Prince of Wales has been facing up to some heckling by Aborigine protesters. They shouted boring during his speech, though most of the audience gave him a warmer reception.
A small group of Aboriginal protesters airing their familiar claim for land rights awaited the royal couple when they arrived in Wollongong. Prince Charles, there to open a new arts centre, was about to speak when one of the demonstrators shouted boring. The prince reacted quickly.
Before anybody shouts boring, I'm about to make the most boring speech I've ever made.
But as the heckling continued, the prince's patience clearly began to wear thin.
Could you repeat yourself? I didn't quite catch you.
However, the rest of Wollongong seemed pleased enough to see the Prince and Princess. In the town hall, Princess Diana shook hands with a seemingly endless line of local dignitaries. If anyone had a right to shout boring, it was surely Her Royal Highness. In her only speech of the tour, made in somewhat calmer circumstances, the Princess opened Adelaide's Youth Festival with a thought about her own young family back home.
Like most people with small children, I often wonder what sort of world our sons will inhabit in the next century. When I meet people like you all here today, I am encouraged to believe that the future will, after all, be something to look forward to.
All in all, a mixed day for the two royal speakers. Jeremy Thompson, ITN, Australia.
And you can see an ITN special programme, The Prince and Princess of Wales in Australia, tomorrow on ITV. It's on at different times in different regions. And that's the news this Saturday evening from all of us here at ITN. A very good evening.
Now the weather for the central region. The night will be dry with clear periods. A moderate westerly wind and temperatures down to 2 Celsius, 36 Fahrenheit, will give a touch of ground frost in places. Tomorrow will start dry and bright, but it'll become cloudy during the day, with rain and freshening southerlies spreading from the southwest during the afternoon and the evening. The temperature tomorrow will rise to 7 Celsius, that's 45 Fahrenheit. We'll have rain and strong winds on Monday morning, but it will become brighter later, although there will be some scattered showers. Winds will moderate on Tuesday with sunny intervals and showers. Temperatures will be near normal, but there will be frost in places at night. That's the weather.
Sunday at 8:15 on Central, Wish Me Luck, the thrilling wartime drama surrounding the women who risked everything.
So far, so good, then.
I shan't be happy till they make radio contact.
They sit there in London shifting their coloured pins around. Do they know how long wireless operators are lasting on average?
It's time we up the average, isn't it?
The dangers of being a woman in a man's world.
And if you're thinking of transmitting from this room, forget it.
It's time to face the enemy. Wish Me Luck, Sunday at 8:15 on Central.
Nicholas Lyndhurst, Felicity Kendall and Dennis Norton will be all right on tonight's Aspel Co, which is coming up next here on Central.
This month, spend £5 at Sketchley's and walk off with 20% off shoe repairs.
I bet he drinks Carling Black Label. Oh, the next bloke through that door.
What's that? Gives a pint of aftershave.
Straight glasser?
Your best bet for a fuller flavour.
Now, here's a team you can put to the test. East Midlands Electricity. In our sale, you can save 70 quid on a new Credo Solar Plus cooker. Or save 40 quid on this Hotpoint Electronic 1000 Plus washing machine. Or 20 quid on this Electra Super 5 dishwasher. This sale's got it all. 12 months interest-free credit, guaranteed delivery dates, and we'll match any price. East Midlands Electricity is a team you can trust. And I don't say that about many people. East Midlands Electricity, the team you can trust.
The new Peugeot 405.
takes your breath away. Book your car with Sea-Link this summer, pay before March the 31st, and we'll give you a low-season 60-hour return absolutely free. So you can enjoy it all again. The Sea-Link double take. 2 trips for the price of 1.
I say, old boy, isn't it ready yet? 3 months adrift, with you the missing link. Why are you so slow?
If you have to choose between saving your skin and saving your bacon, just ask yourself, is it Danepak's tasty rindeless bacon in the new, easy-to-open, easy-to-close pack?
Do wish you'd get a move on. Haven't had a decent blowout for weeks. Ah!
Danepak, it's the only choice.
Don't just sit there. Ski resorts, snow reports, and the latest holidays are on your screen. Page your Oracle for the fastest information on the slopes.
It's a tough job dealing with hard cases, broken promises, broken homes.
For all your clever talk, your mind's made up.
So you can stop me.
Professional problems, private affairs.
I mean, pillow talk.
Jim, you're being ridiculous.
Little Miss Care and not care anymore. Oh, if you knew.
Hard cases, Monday at 9 on Central.
An everyday tale of rich German folk has just started on Channel 4. It's Black Forest Clinic, and it's a bit like Dynasty with bandages. Here on Central, we have Aspel Co.
Thank you for a discreet audience. Good evening. I have to answer a few queries about last week's show. After Kenny Everett appeared with a huge bald dome and 3 feet of hair sticking out at each side, 2 viewers rang in to ask if he was wearing a wig. Well, yes, he was. Either that or he's got a nasty case of alopecia. And several people wanted to know what Joan Collins said at the end of the show when she touched my shoulder and whispered in my ear. Well, mind your own business. So what really happened was, and you have a right to know, she leaned forward, she flicked a speck of dandruff off my lapel, and she murmured, "Darling, what did you say your name was?" I told her it was George Hamilton. Well, I don't want her writing and phoning up all the time. I had enough of that with Nora Batty. So to tonight's show. I shall be offering hospitality to a man who doesn't think nostalgia is a thing of the past. That's Dennis Norden. To the much admired and even more desired Felicity Kendall, and to the actor who has brought new dignity to the word plonker, Nicholas Lyndhurst. But first, I'm delighted to announce that in our royal box tonight, we are honoured with the presence of the nation's most eminent parents-to-be, Their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of York. Your Royal Highnesses, may I, on behalf of the entire world, offer you our congratulations on the happy news?
Yeah, we were absolutely delighted and thrilled that Edward finally got a job. Yeah!
Now, I meant the other happy news about the Duchess being, expecting...
you mean that Fergo's up Stump Alley? I should Coco, Harry Preggers, Taylor, Sprog in the Pod, you name it.
Yes, I mean, do you have a name?
Yeah, it's Prince Andrew.
You're obviously on cloud 9, but how did you react when you found out?
Oh, brill. Well, we got out the chopper and did a victory roll.
And then we went flying.
What is the procedure when you find out that you are in the royal family way?
First we told those closest to us, you know, Sir Alistair Burnett. And then we told the family.
Your Royal Highness, are you feeling quite well in yourself?
He means morning sickness, Fergs.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had morning sickness since I stopped watching Anne Diamond.
Well, mind you, I had a bit of evening sickness when I heard. 6 bottles of shampoos, 17 stickies, and a game of high cockalorum in the wardrobe.
Thank you, sir.
Bravo.
Duchess, I don't wish to be too personal, but of course it does mean that you will be losing your figure.
I do hope so.
Do you have any preference for sex, sir?
I beg your pardon?
Sex? I mean, would you like a girl?
What? Here? Bit unsubtle, old picnic rug. Not in front of the old battleship when she's about to drop anchor.
Perhaps you'd like a boy to follow in the family tradition.
Oh, yeah, I've Gordonstown, the military, and if he's no bloody good, he can work for Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, as assistant Wimpo Mincer in the Woofter Biz.
Well, thank you both very much indeed for joining us tonight.
Oh, I enjoyed it immensely.
Oh, yeah, it was a real pleasure for us, you know, the 3 of us, to be here.
The 3 of us?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh.
You, me, and Michael?
Oh, we're not calling him Michael, Andy. It's a dreadfully common name. We're going to call him Kevin. Right?
No, Trevor.
What about Barry?
Graham.
No, Gary.
Wayne.
What about David?
Well, I'm sure we all wish their Royal Highnesses the best of luck, and we thank them for being with us tonight. Now, here is a young man whose career as a child star came to an end when he suffered a devastating outbreak of acne. But he's cleared his skin and made his name as one of Britain's cleverest comic actors, Nicholas Lyndhurst. A clean pair of shoes, Nicholas.
Yes, certainly. Yes, brand new.
Excellent. Now, tell me about this acne. How bad was it?
Oh, it wasn't so terrible, but because I'd done a lot of chocolate bar commercials when I was a kid. Yes, thanks a lot. It was really the fact that I was growing so quickly and the fact that the voice was up and down and all over the place.
You weren't fat and acne as well?
No, I wasn't fat and no, I was skinny and acne.
Of all the roles that you've had before or since, you will be remembered, with lots of people, of course, as Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
They shout Rodney and Plonker in public.
Oh, yes, indeed. I didn't pronounce him, yes. Yes, all the time.
Do you mind that?
Well, if I minded it, it wouldn't stop it, so there's no point. I'm not even sure I hear it anymore, to tell you the absolute truth.
Is there any affinity at all between you and Rodney?
Not really, no, I don't think so. I suppose I'm awkward in certain ways. If anyone's going to break something doing the washing up, it's going to be me.
Oh, you wash up, do you?
Oh, of course, yes, doesn't everyone?
You and David Jason, of course, are great jokers on the screen. Does this ever continue off screen?
It's been known, yes. It's been known. Sometimes, because we do tend to work pretty hard. We're up very early and we're working till late at night. So when we do get a day off, it's usually on a Sunday, and of course the rest of the country's shut on a Sunday. But there was one occasion when we were filming down in Dorset and we had Sunday off, and we all shot over to Poole, I think it was. And that was shut. Poole was shut on Sunday, except for this joke shop where they sold these incredibly realistic pools of plastic sick. Which I bought, and later on arranged to meet David Jason down in the hotel bar, and we're going to have some food and things. And I left this sick outside his hotel door, because mine was directly opposite his, and I was squinting through the keyhole waiting for him to come out and say, oh, gosh, you know, there's some sick and how dreadful and all that, thinking how wonderful and wacky that would be. And David had already gone. David had left his hotel room and gone down to the bar beforehand. So I got fed up with that. And as I was leaving, I saw this chap, another resident of the hotel, come past, see it, and go down to reception. So I picked it up, put it back in his bag, and went down to the bar to meet David. I'm there having a drink with him, And I heard this chap say, somebody's been dreadfully ill outside room 17. You should send a cleaner up. So this cleaner went up, was gone for about 15 minutes, came back down and said, there's no bleeding sick up there, he must be mad.
So they're still looking for this phantom vomit?
Yes, still phantom vomit in hotel up there. Yeah.
But there was the genuine article, wasn't there, where you went on that special filming thing on the trawler?
Yes, yes, there was. When we did an episode of Only Fools and Horses called To Hull and Back, where we had part of the plot involved us going out, way out into the North Sea to ask directions from a gas rig, which way Holland was, which apparently happens in real life. It happens to the oil rig people all the time. But BBC, being terribly time and motion efficient, decided, well, whilst we're on our way out to this gas rig, and it was a 4-hour trip out and a 4-hour trip back, and it really was the North Sea, they said, we'll do all the filming for all the other bits as well. All the bits on the boat, we will do on the way out to the rig, shoot the gas rig, and then do the rest on the way back to Hull. We thought, fine. Lovely day, beautiful sunny day, 17 crew members. Off we went, trolling out, started acting and shouting and pulling faces and whatever we had to do. And gradually, a couple of the crew started getting just slightly green about here. And then some of the makeup people just started feeling a little bit hot and sweaty. And I'm there snapping away with my camera saying, oh, he's being seasick, he's being seasick. Buster wasn't very well. Buster, who plays Uncle Albert.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a great picture of him. And in the end, there were 5 people left out of a crew of 17 that were actually working.
Did you just abandon the whole thing?
We tried to do as much as we could. The makeup girl was pulling focus on the camera and doing the clapperboard as well.
And being sick?
Yeah, and being sick.
You have this lugubrious face,
yes,
but you...
I must look that word up. Yeah.
It's one of my favourites, but you are definitely, take my word for it, lugubrious. But you're a great giggler too, aren't you? Have you ever actually stopped the show by giggling?
Nearly. That's all I'm going to say in case the bosses are watching.
Yes. Wasn't there a certain line, though, that you couldn't get out? Must have been.
Oh, yes. That was in Only Fools and Horses. We got an award for it, actually. We got a Golden Egg Award for 9 takes it took just to say 4 words.
What were those 4 words?
Something about, I think, you've sucked up our urn. You had to be there.
Now, you've made your West End debut, haven't you, in The Foreigner?
Yeah.
There's no chance for retakes on that, of course.
No.
Have you corpsed on that?
Yes.
Oh.
Very, very quietly. It was a terrible thing. It's a 100-to-1 chance. But there's a particular scene where things get a little bit tense, a little bit violent. And the chap, I won't mention any names, but he throws me down on a table and then storms out, opens up the door, says a few words, slams the door and leaves. No, leaves, then slams the door. That's right, otherwise he'd walk through the door, wouldn't he?
Yeah. That would make you corpse, yes.
Anyway, he did this bit, and we all got terribly violent. He slammed me down on the table, and he said whatever he wanted to say. Went up to the door, wham! The whole thing came off in his hand. The entire door came off in his hand. Like, but you try and keep it straight.
And that's what he did either.
He's all right, he could get off.
Yeah.
He just looked at us all and left. We're the ones who had to carry on the play.
Hammer the door back on. I'm told if you get a phone call and someone says 4 feet and glassy, you react very violently. What does that mean?
I've heard that expression for a long time. That's a surfing expression. 4 feet and glassy. You should actually say, Michael, 4 feet offshore and glassy.
See? 4 feet offshore and glassy.
Yeah, that means because I surf the waves are 4 feet high, the wind is offshore, so that backs the wave up, gives it more of a shape, and it's a glassy sort of texture. It's not a rough sea.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't got much wind resistance yourself, have you? How much do you do of this?
As much as I can. I haven't surfed now since September, because I've been up here.
What is your mother's view of this, of your wild hobbies and you being a sex symbol?
Well, she's been saying things like, I don't know about the sex symbol bit, but she's always saying, why do you do such dangerous things? You've been doing dangerous things since you were 6. Why don't you collect stamps or things like that?
Well, that's Mum's for you.
Yes, true.
Well, like you, Nicholas, my next guest started as a child, acting, and having sampled the good life, she went solo as the mistress, and her recent credits include chat show hostess. Back on the receiving end tonight, Felicity Kendall. Well, I was just talking about Nicholas's mum there, and you've just become a new mum.
Oh, I know, yes, I have.
Oh, I know you know.
14 weeks, I can't remember. These beautiful little squidgy legs.
And how old is your first child now?
15 years.
15 years and a brand new one.
I've got a big one and a little one, as they say.
This makes you what they call a mature mum. There is a word for that, or a phrase.
Yes. No. Well, I think I looked on a thing once, and it said something like medieval primate or ancient primate or something like that.
Yes, prima gravitas.
That's what it is, you see, that you're very old and you shouldn't be doing this, but I love it.
Sounds like the first course of a meal, doesn't it? I'll have the prima gravitas, please. What about names? Did you have any problems there?
Yes, we fought about names several nights.
There are a lot of trends in names, aren't there? They all seem to be either Olivers or Alexanders at one end, or they're all still Dwaynes and Waynes and Tracys.
Yes, I like Michael. That's my favourite name.
So do I.
I think that's, you can't have another Michael. I mean, you could. But...
Your husband is Michael?
That's my favourite name. I love that.
Are you pleased with your own name?
I think it's terrible.
Felicity?
Isn't it? It's awful. It's the pits. It's always abbreviated, so that's why.
To what?
I had an aunt, that's why I was called Felicity, who had a lisp, apparently. And my parents didn't know what to call me, because I was called Charlie, because I was a boy.
Yes.
They didn't know that I was a boy. And so I was called Charlie, and then I came out and I couldn't be. And so my aunt said, well, why do we call her Felicity? And my mother thought this was so sweet, she did. And I've never forgiven her.
So what's the short bit of Felicity, then?
Flick.
Oh, that's fun.
One of them. That's quite nice. Yes, I quite like that. Yes.
Nicholas is smiling bravely, but I have a feeling the whole subject terrifies you, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you might as well be talking
What,
Turkish,
babies?
I think. Yeah.
You don't have babies?
A lot of husbands are afraid to be there for the birth, and a lot don't enjoy being there for the
Were
conception.
you?
But yes, I was there for both on the last. But there's a nice quote from Nicholas about the two things that terrify you most. What is it?
Oh, marriage and sharks, yes.
Marriage and sharks. Are you a superwoman? Are you very efficient?
No. Frightful. Very bad at everything. I have lists everywhere, and I try to be superwoman and fail very badly.
You're about to become a working mum again, aren't you?
Yes, I'm rehearsing a play, a Tom Stoppard play, that's going into the Aldwych.
You've done quite a few Stoppards, haven't you?
This will be the fourth, yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Now, your
Lucky
last...
girl.
What was your last West End appearance?
Made in Bangkok.
Now, that was quite...
It was a well, they say controversial play, yes.
Yeah.
It was all about Bangkok. Guess what? And all what goes on in Bangkok. And obviously this audience doesn't know what.
Well, let's give them a clue then. Yes.
You haven't got a clip, have you? I'm leaving.
No. No, we haven't. It's a fairly raunchy production.
Well, it was outspoken, and it was about the girls and all what you can buy anything in any form, fashion, or whatever. And it was about the exploitation of the girls in Bangkok. That was one of the things. And so that's what people talked about. And it was a bit rude and dirty, I suppose. But I thought it was a very good play.
And all the Good Life fans turned up?
I think I hope not all of them. There are a few. There was a lady who went down the steps at the Aldwych Theatre, which is where we're going. I hope she won't do it with the Tom Stoppard play. I'm sure she won't. And she came downstairs and left at the interval, and she said, oh, how terrible. And this at the Aldwych, the house of such famous writing. She was horrified.
That's nice. But your parents are theatrical. Are they also unshockable?
Oh, I think so. Oh, yes. I mean, they're nothing. I don't know. I suppose I could think something up, but I don't. And not in the theatre, they wouldn't be shocked. I can't think of anything they'd be cross about.
What about you being cross? You're always having labels attached to you. Would you find those irksome?
So far, they've been quite nice labels, so I don't mind. No, it's all right. I would quite like somebody to say that I was tall, dark, and handsome sometimes, but they never say that. They always say petite and quaint, and I suppose that's not too bad. Pert, that's the one. I think I'm getting too old for that, that's one.
Pert.
I think we've lost that one.
But the trouble is, once the journalists get hold of a word, they can't...
It comes up again, doesn't it? Because they look at the clippings and everything.
That's right.
Yes, no, I'm too old now. I won't be pert anymore. I refuse.
Right.
She says being pert.
And there's an ex-pert woman there. You've been offered... Nicholas, you've been offered...
Oh, very good.
I did, honestly...
Very good. Did you get that?
I didn't mean that. I really didn't. I didn't mean that. Nicholas, have you been offered a centre spread? I hear you have.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. There was one particular tabloid paper that hounded me for weeks to have some pictures taken, and I figured, well, I've got a fair idea of what sort of pictures they want. And I thought, no, I might have to shave my legs or something.